What's up, it's Jan back at it again with another nerdy bookish video. This is gonna be my spoiler-filled dedicated reading vlog for my August full moon book club pick, which is This Wretched Valley by Jenny Kiefer. Apparently, she owns Butcher Cabin Books, which is a horror bookstore in Kentucky that I've been eyeing since it opened, since it was announced. I saw like an article for it. Now she has a book. So, hello! If you haven't heard, these spoiler-filled full moon book club vlogs are back publicly. They started out this way, and then it was like, this is public, and then a public live show, and then things happened, and we went to Patreon only spoiler-filled vlogs, and then we moved the live shows to Patreon only, and now these are back and live shows are no longer anywhere. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Y'all can like discuss in the comments. That's the ideal for these spoiler-filled vlogs since there's no live show. I'm hoping we all interact in the comments about said book as much as possible. This way the public can participate and my thoughts are like kind of in real time as opposed to me scrambling trying to remember things for a live show. It rarely ever goes well, to be honest. I usually need a lot of help from the chat and from my guest host to remind me of things because y'all know I read so many books and like it's not always a good thing because I forget a lot, at least like the nitty-gritty details. I'm usually good at remembering like big plot points and like big moments and important themes and things like that, but it's the details. Anyway, this is a survival horror. I chose this months ago. It worked out because my guest host ended up going through this big move and everything too, so their life was super hectic, so it worked out that I was like, hey, I'm not doing live shows anymore. This is a survival horror novel. I got an ARC for it, so thank you, Quirk Books, for sending me an ARC that I am now reading months after its release. I've heard really good things about this. I've heard there are so many creepy parts, so many horrific body horror parts, and I also heard that Jenny Kiefer actually goes like mountain climbing and is super outdoorsy and whatever, so a lot of these things are like based on personal experience and like things she's seen. Is a Kentucky native and avid rock climber. Together with her mother, she's the owner and manager of Butcher Cabin Books. That's so cute. This is about 4 friends who go hiking in these mountains into the Kentucky wilderness. 7 months later, 3 mangled bodies are discovered. Were their deaths simple accidents or the result of something more sinister? My assumption is that there's something in the land, okay? Like an ancient evil or something in the land. Just because, I don't know, I just have an inkling. Who knows? I know this is based on something. It's like borderline historical horror, I believe. I just saw it too. Someone just said it and I forgot. I don't remember. I read some reviews. I have a Discord thread on Patreon for it and everyone's been loving it. Everyone's saying how fast-paced it is, how it's creepy in the beginning. I'm excited. I do have the audiobook. It's currently my day off, but I do have socializing plans today at 2 p.m. and it's currently 10:30, I believe. Oh, it's 11. So I'll be trying to read this in like 2 days. Like I said, this is going to be spoiler filled, so I will film my spoilery thoughts as I go. I will try to get some reactions because I feel like I'm gonna have some visceral ones. I know there's a lot of things with like bugs too, so we'll see. We shall see. Can I also acknowledge my new Book Babe design shirt? This is my favorite design of her entire shop, and that's a lot to say because she is like one of the most talented artists I've ever seen. It's the vampire one. It's Love at First Bite, Romance Society, what does it say? Blood Drive, Every Weekend, Eternal Member, and then on the back it says like keep your local vampires hydrated or something like that. I'm too lazy to show it, but yeah, super cute. So excited to wear it for the first time today. I'm not gonna vlog at my like socializing plans because I don't know, it just feels weird. I will be doing some chores. I still have to finish my laundry, but I do want to read some of this physically, most of this physically, because I am gonna be annotating. I don't know why I'm so nervous for this vlog. I had them on Patreon, then I switched it to doing my Lair Bloody Read vlogs, spoiler filled over there, which made more sense anyway because it was less redundant and everything. And now, yeah, I just didn't want Full Moon Book Club to die completely, and this is the only way I was able to find a solution without me having to go live because that gives me too much anxiety now. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoy this vlog. I hope you enjoy this new method of Full Moon Book Club. Feel free to tag me on Instagram if you're reading the book in any of these months. I will always do my best to have these vlogs up on the full moon of every month just to keep that full moon theme going. I'll probably also do my best to try to get it up for early access on Patreon Patreon just to have that little perk, which means I have to finish this literally like tomorrow because it's currently the 14th and the full moon is the 19th, and I need time to edit this as well, especially if I'm going to be rambling for 9 minutes at a time. So I'm gonna go and I'll talk to y'all when I have some initial thoughts.
A few moments later.
Okay, sorry, hi, me again, like 10 seconds later. I'm reading the editor's note, which I never do, but it does say she pitched the book to her editor as inspired by the infamous Dyatlov Pass incident, a compelling Soviet-era unsolved what did I just say? Did I say compelling? Compelling. Yeah, I definitely didn't say compelling. What the fuck? Soviet-era unsolved mystery involving 9 hikers who were killed in the Ural Mountains. Their bodies displayed mysterious injuries and no one can agree on what happened to them or how they died. And then Jenny Kiefer just puts them in the Kentucky wilderness instead of that location. Just wanted to clarify because I now know I fact-checked myself, so yay me. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Okay, ooh, you gonna focus? Okay, I'm just on the second chapter. Right off the bat, we get body horror. So I'm here for it. I'm hooked, line sinkered, ready to rock. We got October 2019 when the bodies were found, and now we're flashing back to February 2019 to get the hikers' perspectives, I'm assuming. So I'm excited. Y'all want to know what just really irritated me just now? I'm gonna go on a little rant, just a tad, because I need to vent. I need to let this out. It's really not a big deal, okay? It was just kind of annoying because this lady downstairs, she lives in another building, don't know her, never seen her. We did laundry at the same time. I went down there, I saw her, I smiled at her. She didn't smile back. Fine. My washers that I used were open. The lid was open. Fine. But you can tell from the little screen, you can tell when there's something in there or when it's empty. Because when it's empty, it says the price that you have to pay. But okay, you didn't see it. Cool. I come back down there an hour later to like take out my laundry. I already switched it out. I just went back down to go get it and put it in my little tote bags. First of all, I hear her with someone on the phone on blast speaker, full volume. It's echoing. I hear it from the hallway. I open the laundry room. My shit is on top of the fucking dryers. That shit is nasty. Okay, it looks clean. I'm sure it is clean, but just like the thought of her. Okay, first of all, the thought of her touching my clothes, that's fucking weird. That's one thing. Second thing, they were just out of the dryer. Like they just ended. I have a fucking timer on my phone. My laundry just ended. The zippers and shit were still blazing hot on like my jeans and stuff. So they just finished. It's not like I was one of those assholes who waited hours and hours to go grab my shit. Do not fucking take out people's clothes from the laundry unless it's been literal hours and you've checked multiple times. It is not my fault that everyone and their mamas are doing laundry at whatever time on a Wednesday. And she goes, sorry. I was like, okay, that's okay. At first, I saw the piles on top of the dryer and it was on top of the 2 dryers I was using. And yes, fine, I was using 2 dryers. Sorry. Everyone does it though. But I thought she was like folding her clothes on top. I thought they were her piles on top of the dryers. And that's why I was like, it's okay. Then I opened it and her shit is in the dryer. And I'm like, oh, stuff on top is my stuff. Which means your grubby little hands touched them and put them on this dirty surface. My clean clothes that I paid for. Sorry, I just had to rant. It really isn't that big of a deal, but like the principle, it's the principle. Hi, sorry, car clip. I just have to say this. I can't not. I just have to. Characters are lame. The dialogue is lame. Instagram girl, is it Dylan? Lame. I can't stand every time she talks. I don't know if it's just the audiobook. I don't know if it's because I'm not in a horror mood. I mean, the body horror right from the get-go. Fine, cool. This dog better be okay, is all I'm saying. Because he just went missing. Of course, Luke, the boyfriend, is like, you're acting like you don't even give a shit about Slade. And then the girl's like, listen, I don't want to get lost either. The best we could do is lead him back to us. And I'm like, she kind of has a point, because she's like, how do you think we're gonna search the entire fucking forest for this dog? It's like, yeah, true. But also, try a little bit. bit, just a little bit. I don't know how dark it is at the moment. I can't remember the time of the chapter I just started. I think it's evening though, because this morning I woke up at 4 a.m. I socialized so much yesterday, that's why I didn't update, because I was so drained afterwards. I fell asleep by 10. I was asleep by 10, which is rare. Usually like I try to, and then I just like can't fall asleep, but oh my god, I fell asleep pretty quickly. Like I was in bed, teeth brushed, everything by 9:45, so I'm pretty sure I was asleep by 10. So I woke up at 4:10 a.m. couldn't go back to sleep, so I'm like, I gotta edit my full moon readathon vlog, I gotta make some headway into this book. So I did both. I still have like an hour left to edit of my vlog, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, this audiobook, it started out okay. I think it's just the voice she uses for Dylan that I'm really annoyed with. But also, yeah, like the characters are flat. The dialogue is just lame. Like it's cringy almost. Sometimes like the supposedly funny parts are just not funny and just trying too hard. I don't know, it's a debut. I should give it some grace, but also I had such high hopes for this one. It could still be good. The horror elements could still be good, because they are so far. The dog found one of the bones. Okay, hold on, there's a truck. Okay, this drive-thru's dragging, so I'm back. I just needed to say, I literally had to pause the audiobook because this pissed me off so much, because it's one of my biggest fears. But I know Joey would never. Joey would never. So influencer girl Dylan is working with this company for the first time, like as a sponsor or whatever, and she's supposed to like document her climb. She gave her first update on a live stream or whatever, and Luke goes,
"Did you just update your little followers?"
Or whatever he said. It was so condescending, and she was like, I have to. You know this. Like, this is my first time with this company. I think it's called Petzl. And like, I have to make it sound enthusiastic. Like, you know this is what we're here for, and like I have to do this job, and like I can't do it without you. So like, why don't you be supportive? It's like people on the outside just like don't get it. And it's really frustrating to hear that in this audiobook, which is also fine because then we can acknowledge it, right? Sometimes, like, yeah, we love content creating. I love this, okay? But sometimes you don't want to put your camera persona on. Not that I'm any different than in person, but sometimes you're just not in the mood, right? You're just not in the mood to talk to a camera. And it's not like I'm fake on camera. And the way he said it was just, it made me livid. But sometimes you just don't want to. But you have to, because you're working with a company for the first time and you want to look presentable, you want to sound enthusiastic, and it just like, when people don't get it and then call you fake for it, rubs me the wrong way. Kind of hate it. But before that, Luke encountered this like hyena looking thing, and I'm like, there are no hyenas in Kentucky. But he like thought it was his dog eating some meat or whatever, but it had like yellow werewolf looking eyes, and his like fur was all bristled, and then it snapped at his arm, but he like ran just in time. But that was kind of creepy. I was like, oh, I just said things were getting lame, so that's cool. Okay, I gotta order. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Hi, coming to you from my lunch break. Oh no, I forgot to charge my camera. I'm at the forest preserve that I hang out at during my lunch sometimes. There's a hair on my camera. I just wanted to share how funny my patrons are because on Discord we have a thread for every full moon book club pick, like current one, as well as bloody reads. Patty, shout out to Patty, she's talking about like the obsession with this rock. Like everyone's just, especially Dylan, just like basically wants to have sex with this rock, and she quoted, "The rock radiated its magnetism." Hi, sorry, my camera died, but as I was saying, I'm still in my car, but I am in a completely different location. I'm at a different library. I'm at my home library, not the one I work at. Sorry, I can't hold a fucking camera. There's a guy parked next to me and it's giving me anxiety. But as I was saying, Patty was like, why does Dylan want to have sex with this rock? And then she's like, I have proof. And she quoted, "The rock radiated its magnetism, its charm. The air grew warmer, and each minute she unzipped her jacket a bit more, the little teeth like tick marks counting down to her time on the wall." And then another one was, "The rock would be baked, the perfect temperature for fingers." And now I can't unthink it. Like, now everything this book says about this wall of rock, my head's gonna be in the gutter. It's gonna be an innuendo. Is that the right word? Innuendo. Euphemism. What is the difference between those two words? Am I an actual idiot? Okay, now I need like the definition of each one. Anyway, I'm at my home library because I have 2 holds to pick up, and they're the most random holds that I just randomly placed. One is the sequel to East by Edith Petto. Yeah, that one, the middle grade with the polar bear. Yeah, I've read that book twice. It was such a quick read and I actually really enjoyed it. So I'm like, I just need to read the sequel. It's only a duology and it's not at my library. So I placed a hold here, and then the other one is Twilight Falls. This is gonna be the 3rd time I check this book out, okay? After a bunch of renewals. This is the 4th book in the Shady Hollow series. It's a cozy mystery series where animals are basically humans, and it's a super cute little town. It's Gilmore Girls meets Zootopia. It's a good time. But the last copy I had was in Joey's stolen car. Are we surprised? Yeah, so I had to pay for that, but I'm gonna get another copy. I'm actually gonna read it this time. A concept. But yeah, okay, so I'm listening to this Wretched Valley still. I'm 40% in, I think, so hopefully I finish it tonight. I could stay up a little bit later tonight because I work from home tomorrow since I have a doctor's appointment. I kind of give up on trying to like these characters. I'm feeling this is like a low 3-star for me. Like, I don't give a single shit if any of these characters die. I really don't give a fuck. At this point, I'm just like, the only way it'll be 4 stars, it has to be really creepy. Like, it has to work for it. It has to earn that 4th star, which sucks because the cover's stunning. I've been looking forward to this book since I got the ARC, basically, since before I got the ARC. I still definitely want to visit this author's bookstore eventually, one day. It's like a 5-hour drive from me, but one day. Maybe I don't know. I was gonna say maybe I'll still give her another shot if she writes another book because this is her debut, but I don't know. It depends on the premise, I guess, because the writing isn't anything too special, in my humble opinion. That's unfortunate. But I'll keep y'all updated. I'm at the part where they're helping Luke. They're trying to find the car. They're like carrying Luke, basically, because he injured his leg. They all just realized that they're back to where they started, basically. They found their tents again. And this is like the 2nd or 3rd time this has happened. No, it's the 2nd time, because the first time was that Dylan was like, I felt like I was climbing so much for so long and I got nowhere. And then she like watched the footage back and it was just like weird. It was like you just end up where you started, and then that's exactly what happened here too. The GPS obviously wasn't working, there's no service, whatever, but they're like looking at maps and they're like, there's no way we didn't make any progress because we were making turns, we were turning around, whatever, and now we're back to where we started. It doesn't check out. The math isn't mathing, as the cool kids would say nowadays. Anyway, there is a pickup truck about to park right next to me, so I'm gonna go pick up these holds and then go the fuck home.
The last time I can see you in a while.
Hi, I'm here doing my favorite activity, which is sitting right here while he's right there making din. But I wanted to share my library haul because I have that. I know, shut up. But I got my 2 that y'all saw in the B-roll. And then, of course, I had to check upstairs. I had to. I got Freiren. It's pronounced Freiren. Apparently it's German. Thank you to those of you who commented and corrected me, as I asked for. Thank you, thank you. And I think it means like cold weather or something like that. Got the 5th volume. It was the only one that I haven't read that was available. I think there are 8, if I'm not mistaken. I probably am though, as always. I also got, they have such good lit fic options and like unhinged women options at that library, but I grabbed this because it's short and I probably don't want this cover on my shelves. I've definitely used this font before on Canva. I don't want this on my shelves because that freaks me out. This is precisely the reason why I bought the book Piglet from the UK, because I wanted the donuts on the cover, not a burger. A slimy, juicy burger. But this is even worse because she's eating it. A good happy girl. I have no idea what this is about. Oh, the author of Sirens and Muses blurbed it. Apparently it's about...
Author of Sirens and Muses. Oh no, the olive oil. Sorry, here we go.
Just an Italian complaining about his lack of olive oil.
You butter.
Ew. So we have an attorney, a self-destructive attorney. Ooh, flirting with a young administrative assistant, distracting herself by hooking up with lesbian couples, doting on her grandmother. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interested in worlds without men and women who will do what they can to get what they want. That's what made me check it out because I thought that was a good... The chapters aren't too bad, but maybe that'll happen. Maybe I'll end up buying it anyway if I like the writing enough. And then I also got this, In the Shadow of the Fall. I have a NetGalley arc for this, and I do this often. Listen, NetGalley does this thing where they keep score, and their recommended is 80%. Mine has never crossed 30, I don't think. I still give feedback even though the arcs that I get have already come out. I know it defeats the purpose, but sometimes I'm ahead of the game. Most cases, I'm not. This is one of those cases. I've had this arc. I think I started it at some point, but yeah, it's a short little fantasy novella. I got the sequel today, the sequel arc, the arc of the sequel. It comes out in January. So I'm like, yeah, it's time. Probably gonna be more likely that I read it physically. So I have this. in my hands now. That's my little library haul. I'm gonna sit here and read this wretched book because I just want it to end. I'm done. I don't want it anymore. And I'm sad. Next month, the full moon book club pick is also horror. And if that's a flop, we're switching back to fantasy, y'all. Listen, horror has done me dirty the past couple months. No, I'm letting Carmilla's pick them because that's the new perk.
What are they?
More than you. I'm about 42% in, so I have like 2.5 hours left of this audiobook, probably less than that. I could do this. I could finish this tonight. I have zoned out many a time, but I'm gonna put my headphones on and be immersed. Oh, I didn't even say next month's book club pick. Don't tell Joey. It's Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman. Okay, bye.
In a while, is it the truth that you'll be living tonight? We should take a walk, then a swim in the sea. That will
Hi, Din Din's ready, but I am now 57% through, and I'm really fucking annoyed. So what I just read was the fly scene. There were flies fucking everywhere, going into her skin, giving her welts, and she's like smooshing them, and they keep saying that they're like squished corpses, and they're like going into her eyeballs and her ears. She's just trying to scoop them out, and so they like get squished in her holes, and it just that was doing it for me, okay? And then there was like a bed of flies. It was worded like there was a something of flies by her feet, and they were fucking making maggots or some shit. Like, maggots are like one of the grossest things. Like, you could put a maggot in any horror book and I'll be scared, because that shit is nasty. And then they're doing this thing. This needed to be edited further, for sure. And it's not just the art because I'm listening to the audiobook. It is edited though, because some of the stuff doesn't match up. Some of the sentences are like rearranged, omitted completely. But it definitely needs more editing because there's so much repetitive shit. Okay, so a couple chapters ago, like on my way back from the library, they're like, what the fuck just happened? How are we, back to where we started? And they're like, it's not like we're high. And then someone, I forgot who, was like, maybe there's spores in the air. There's a certain type of mushroom. And then this other girl was like, I didn't see any poisonous mushrooms. The only ones I saw were dead man's toe mushrooms. They don't have that effect. And also that part was when she thought they were toes and like it was scary for like 0.5 seconds. And then she realized they were mushrooms shaped like toes. It was the whole thing. So they said that a couple chapters ago, and then they just said it again. Sylvia was like, maybe there are just spores in the air. And I'm like, didn't you literally just say that? And then same thing with, what's his face? Whoever the one hallucinating is it Luke? Clay? One of them. Who fucking cares? One of the guys is hallucinating and seeing these ghosts. And we didn't know they were ghosts, and then all of a sudden they're ghosts. First they were hallucinations, and then the dude drinks some moonshine, and then the next chapter starts and Luke is seeing shit. All of a sudden it starts with the ghosts start eating whatever. We didn't establish that they're ghosts. These bitches better stay scared throughout the whole thing, because if this becomes another one of those horror books where they just get used to them and just start like interacting with these ghosts, I don't want it. I don't fucking want it. Oh, back to the repetitive. So one of the dudes, whoever was hallucinating, was like, it's gotta be just, is it dehydration? Is it exhaustion? Or is it the effects of whatever? And then he said it again, literally like 3 pages later. He's like, maybe it's exhaustion. Maybe I'm just dehydrated. It's like, you just had that thought 3 pages ago. You can't just pretend it never happened. And then Dylan, this bitch Dylan, just needs to let it go. You're not gonna be a fucking legend. She keeps saying like, it wasn't supposed to happen this way. I was just supposed to climb this rock, take a few pictures, and become a legend. Babe, you are lost. You are lost. There's creepy shit happening. You could die. Let it go. It'll be fine. The internet will be there. Just focus on fucking staying alive. And then she was also like, I smell this rotten smell. Is it Luke's leg? Is he decomposing? What do you mean? Maybe I'm just not like visualizing how bad his leg really is. Maybe I don't know how open this wound is, but like it just sounded so stupid to me. I'm hangry, so I'm gonna go. And we're gonna start Queen Charlotte because we finished Bridgerton season 2 yesterday, and Joey's gonna love it. Update. I'm definitely not finishing the book, but I'm so annoyed by it because every 2 seconds, at least one person is asking someone else if they're okay. Is everything okay? I think he's okay. He looked okay earlier. I don't know if he's okay anymore. That's literally a conversation that happened. And then they turn around and ask someone else if they're okay. And it's like, this is not the fault in our stars. The amount of okays that have been said. If I took a shot, I would be in my grave, rolling, not having a good time, and still having to take shots. It's annoying. It's not good writing. The only parts that are well written are the body horror parts, which if I had to pick something that was well written, that's a good choice. Characters leave a lot to be desired, my dudes. I don't care about any of them. I don't feel for them. I don't feel anything. Is the dog okay? And then also, Sylvia left. Sylvia was the only decent character who actually had common sense. Actually kind of knew what she was doing. She went to get help, supposedly. Never came back. Never looped around. As in, the land never put her back to where she started, like it's doing for everyone else. They find out she's missing, and then they just like move on. They're like, oh, she's gone. And then Dylan was like, someone was like, wasn't a fan of her going off alone with Clay anyway. And then a couple paragraphs later, it was like, nobody ever mentioned Sylvia again. It was as if it was always the three of them in this valley on this hike or whatever. I'm like, you're really just gonna whatever. Take the win, Sylvia. Hi, if I look disheveled, it's because I cried over an otter giving a rock to a man who saved the love of its life from being stuck in a fishing net. I literally sobbed. I don't understand either. Anyway, I did not finish this book last night. Did not finish it this morning because I got up at 5:20 today and I just felt like ass. Like I sat out here and I just stared at the fucking ceiling because I could not do anything. Like I had a headache. My body felt weird. It still feels weird. I'm just like drained. And we went to sleep before 10 o'clock last night. Apparently I missed because Patty, my patron that I mentioned earlier in this video, she's at 65% and I'm at 68%, at least when I checked. And apparently Clay admitted to killing Sylvia, but I missed that part. Probably when I was like falling asleep last night. So there's that. Do I feel anything for it? No. I don't even care. I cared more that they were just like brushing it off and they were just like, oh, no one's talking about her anymore. But now that she's dead, it doesn't really do anything for me. I'm not shocked, not shook, I'm not shaken. But I am working from home.
Yeah.
Until, and so is Joey, until my doctor's appointment. That's today. I'm definitely gonna be finishing this. I'm gonna listen to it on my drive. I should be done with it today. It's probably gonna be a 2 or 3. It's not happening for me. There's nothing really other than the body horror and the flies, like I said. But now I'm talking repetitively because this is just rubbing off on me. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna work. No. Nope. Fuck this book. Fuck it. It was almost 3 stars. Clay's death? So good. So good. That made me think that... What the fuck just happened? Babe!
Huh?
Did you spin my bookshelf around?
Spin it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. By an author I love. Oh, okay. Oh my god, let's just all fall off. Maybe I did. All the pillows on top just fell. Anyway, Clay's death. Super gory, super well written. That scene, really good. With the dog and the lady just eating him. Slurping on his intestines like spaghetti, is what they said. Sinking into the flesh and ripping at the tendons and blah 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 blah. My jaw was in hell while I was driving. That made me think, 1, this could possibly be 3 stars. That in and of itself earned itself a full star. Number 2, I also thought, which horror author do I like in terms of like how they write characters, how they build personas, blah, 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 blah. Rachel Harrison. And I think they should collab and have Rachel Harrison write out the characters and like the storyline. Jenny Kiefer's job would just be to write gory kills, gory deaths, gory scenes. Because Rachel Harrison is like cozy horror, so it doesn't get too intense or like detailed in the graphic, gory scenes. But this, mixed with Rachel Harrison's characters, oh, it's an idea, people. Someone pitch it. So then that happened, and then Slade is fucking found dead. Slade the dog. And you know who slayed him? Fucking Dylan. Well, supposedly. That's another thing. Things weren't resolved. We don't know anything. There are no explanations on anything. I don't understand really how the flashbacks connect to the present day other than like those are the people who died. Those are the ghosts, but it doesn't really like connect. It doesn't say, like, I don't need horror to hold my hand, okay? If something's gonna be ambiguous, I want to feel unsettled. I didn't feel unsettled. I just felt annoyed that nothing was explained. Like, things were just vanishing. And then the last chapter was April 2019 when all their bodies were found and Tabitha, Clay's friend, calls the police. The police are just like bored because they keep hearing about these missing people and these missing hikers. They're like, oh, did you know Dylan Prescott or whatever? Tabitha was like, yeah, I think she was with Clay. I didn't even care what the fuck happened the rest of the time. What's the last line? Dylan's body had already been digested beneath it, already set in a grave. That wretched place wanted the rest of them discovered, so the authorities would clean up, returning the spot to pristine wilderness, leaving no trace. Okay, so yeah, so it was the land. I just don't know. So Clay didn't kill Sylvia until after, so I don't know. Maybe I read that message wrong on Discord, but it wasn't until like past 70% that Clay killed Sylvia. And Clay admitted to it, saying that he like just felt all this anger pent up, ran out with Sylvia and like accused her of a bunch of shit and then strangled her to death. At first he was like in denial and whatever, and then they found her body like decomposed overnight, and so they were all confused. Yeah, and then Clay basically got killed the next chapter, and then Luke found Slade in the next chapter. I was like, okay, 3 stars, and then I'm like, okay, fuck this book. And he found Dylan's knife. But that also doesn't mean that Dylan killed him, because just because it was her knife, it could have been taken by someone else, whatever. But anyway, her name was on her knife, and of course she was like, wasn't me, my knife is right here. And then she doesn't find it, and she's like, I thought I just used it to stab that man thing. And then they're like trying to kill each other on this mountain, and he's like stabbing her calf, and then she's like grinning because she's like about to break his wrist. She was like, oh my god, do I really have to murder my boyfriend? And then she's like, oh my god, I'm the final girl. And then she dies too. I don't know. Sorry, my thoughts were all over the place. I feel like I didn't actually finish a single thought in this update, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm annoyed. If things are vanishing off the map, might as well read The Haunting of Elkwood all over again. This gives the same vibes as The Haunting of Elkwood, just a different setting. Because the same things kept happening over and over. The characters were lame. Things were vanishing off the map. Hallucinations were happening. Except these people did not choose to be there. Well, okay, they chose to be there. That's another thing. They chose to be there. They just didn't choose to be in that circumstance. That's also another thing. You know how I said earlier that Dylan was always like, it wasn't supposed to be this way. I was supposed to be a legend. Clay was saying the same shit. He's like, it wasn't supposed to be this way. I was only supposed to make millions. That's why I did this trip. And it's like, let it go, babe. All of it. Just let it go. You just focus on staying alive. Like, you can't keep saying woulda, shoulda, coulda, because what is that gonna do? What is that gonna do for your mental state? That's just gonna piss you off even more. That's just gonna make you more sad and more pitiful over yourself. And I get it. I get it, like, you look for not positivity, but like your mindset changes in these circumstances. But it was just annoying that it was repeated over and over. It also reminded me of another book that I can't talk about because of the St. Martin's Press boycott, but I read it last year, and it also takes place in the wilderness, and also was disappointed by it. I'm exhausted. I'm just glad it's over. I'm so glad I'm done with this book. 2 stars is my final rating. And that 2nd star is solely for the gory scenes, the body horror. Clay's death scene will stick with me for a little bit, I think. Nothing else will, besides my negative feelings towards this book. Definitely gonna unhaul this, but I keep all my full moon book club picks to take the end of the year photo with all of them. Also, this purple and red keeps reminding me of Assistant to the Villain, which I kind of want to read soon, even though I have a feeling I'm not gonna like it. Katie liked it, so maybe I will. Anyway, tangent. I am done with this. I need to start my next Do Your Worst episode, so I'm gonna end the vlog here. Ooh, maybe I could do a fun fact. Add to this already super long clip. What can I do? Fun fact about, they were in Kentucky wilderness. What were they? Ooh, should I do Cliff Bars? Or like granola bars. Let's do granola bars. Oh wait, Cliff Bars. The image of a rock climber on Cliff Bar packaging was originally drawn by Doug Gilmore, not like Gilmore Girls, but Gilmore, like glamour, like M-O-U-R, on a napkin. I don't know what that matters. Was originally drawn by Doug Gilmore on a napkin during a San Francisco dinner. Erickson debuted 3 flavors at a bike show in September 1991: apricot, date oatmeal, and double chocolate. I wonder which one sold the most. But yeah, those are a couple fun facts about Cliff Bars because that's like all they ate to survive. So, if you made it to the end of this video, are there hiker emojis? Hiking? Rock climbing? Let's see. Let's check the emoji archive. Hike. Oh, they're just walking. Rock. Put the rock emoji in the comments down below if you made it to the end. Thank you for reading this with me this month. Thank you for participating. And give me all your thoughts in the comments. I will read them all. And thank you to SJ for buddy reading this with me as well. We were sending voice notes on Instagram because it was much needed. A lot of venting, a lot of ranting was much needed. So thank you, SJ. It was a fun time, even though it was not a great time reading this. Hope you had a 5-star day. Hope some of you gave this 5 stars, but it wasn't me. Don't forget to do some self-care today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.